to Bauchi State, where the political waters are boiling. A growing rift between Governor Bala Mohammed and a senator representing Bauchi South, Buba, has taken a dramatic turn. Reports suggest the governor influenced the senator's dethronement by the Bauchi Emirate Council, escalating tensions further. Political observers warn that this clash has security implications, with the allegations that Governor Bala Mohammed has sent a security report to the president accusing the senator of sponsoring banditry against the backdrop of an ongoing DSS investigation. Joining us on the program to explore these developments is Ambassador Ibrahim Wayya. He's the Executive Director of Citizens for Development and Education and also the convener of Nigeria for Peace project. He's joining us on the program virtually to discuss the developing issue in Bauchi. Ambassador, thank you most kindly for joining us on the program. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Right, okay. Let's work on that frame. But I would love to get your initial thoughts about this particular case. Is what is happening in Bauchi State between Senator Shehu and Governor Bala Mohammed and the security agencies just pure Nigerian politics, or is there more to it?
Well, actually, thank you very much for the question. But the way I look at it is the whole issue is like drama.
Because it's really unfortunate that leaders of this kind of position, exalted position, will be involved into this kind of thing. Because for a governor to actually to take over this or to embark on this as one of the assignments as he gets himself, yes, living behind almost all the responsibility has gotten as a governor is quite really unfortunate. And when we got deep into the whole thing, we were able actually to understand that the allegation against the senator of sponsoring banditry or supporting activities of bandits, it just only connected only one single person who was reported to have been sponsored by one legislative aide of the senator, which the senator came out publicly to inform the people that the person involved has nothing to do with him, it's not connected to him in any way. So you can tell me that this is to tell you that actually the whole main image is just only being projected in such a way that the senator will be looked into a bad or will be looked at in a bad light, which is very much unfortunate. I look at it that from the time when the whole thing started, the DSS in Bauchi have already launched an investigation into the matter. And they are still working on that, and there's not any tangible report that has been produced or has been submitted by the DSS in Bauchi implicating or indicting the senator. So I'm not saying the reason why also the governor will now be so much overzealous to write again a petition against the senator, trying to invoke the wrath of the presidency against the senator. It's quite really unfortunate and it's quite really misleading. And I think these are some of the actions that have a tendency of creating chaos within the political landscape in Nigeria. And I think for the purpose of just only retaliating against a perceived political opponent, one should not actually, in a way, be politicizing the issue of security. This is one of the problems we have gotten with our governments, that some of them have taken this as a task upon themselves of politicizing the issue of security. Because at least I look at it as also ridiculing the whole situation, not only just only politicizing the whole, but at the same time ridiculing the whole situation. Instead of focusing on issues that are very sensitive in the country, that will really help. And also instead of collaborating with the elected officials from the overall respective state to see how they can move a step forward, they now end up with launching a political haunting against a perceived opponent or somebody you think probably he has a political popularity more than you, and he's trying to outshadow you politically. I think these are all things that are actually very misleading, and I think these are complete rubbish and it was of people's time. At the time when the people in this country need the attention, we so much need attention of our elected leaders to concentrate more on addressing some of the present problems. Take, for example, in Bauchi State. Bauchi State happens to be placed in one of the states that has been that has manifestly on almost every indices of underdevelopment, issue to do with poverty, issue to do with underdevelopment, issue to do with unemployment, issue a lot of issues like that, girl child education, out of school children, everything, and a marginal issue. All these are issues that require attention of the governor to actually concentrate in facing them and also collaborate with other elected political leaders, whether from his own party or from other opposition party, because this is the time for governors. One thing that actually I do not really understand with the leaders of Nigeria is they forget to differentiate between the politicking time or the time for politicking and the time for governance. This is the time for governance. A person has already been elected and is going to spend complete 4 years in office. Instead of you to focus on governance, how do you really actually try to deliver good governance, good dividend to the people that have elected you? They now try to derail from that and divert attention of people where they start owning the resources of the people. That is actually the whole thing. These are issues that should not even actually an issue because they are completely so minor issue that nobody should even give any attention to that. But the governor of Bauchi State has really taken over himself to make this an issue out of no issues and try.
Yeah. Okay, Ambassador, I think you just muted your mic, but if I could just jump in to add to the conversation. You're talking about the governor focusing more on governance. He is the chief security officer of Bauchi State, and this is a very sensitive security matter. We understand that the senator has distanced himself from the individual in question. However, there is a nexus connecting him and that individual, whether it's through his aid or through some of the resources that he has used to secure
the picture I'm trying to
suspect who the DSS is investigating in connection to banditry in Zamfara State. Would you at least say that on face value, the senator is guilty by association because his aide, according to him, who is linked directly to this particular individual that the DSS is investigating, should be able to tell him the facts of the matter about the criminal activities or alleged criminal activities of this individual, that at least the senator has questions that needs answering. And it doesn't do justice to the conversation if we say the governor is just politicizing what obviously is a security concern.
What I agree with is security is a security concern issue. But one thing is understand already the DSS is investigating on the available information we have gotten out of all this over. The DSS are already investigating the matter. The governor cannot be the person to complain and at the same time cannot be the one to investigate. I'm not speaking on behalf of Buba because I'm not his own spokesperson. I'm not also at the same time trying to give him a defense. But one thing I'm really trying to say is I'm trying to paint a scenario where every reasonable and responsible person can understand that, one, this is a matter that is under investigation with the DSS. Then let us allow the DSS to finish its job. After that, then the report will be issued out, or definitely people will get to know about what is the report. Then the DSS are in the best position after having investigated the whole matter. They are the one to actually come up with the final report, whether to indict the senator or not. And they are the one to take further action on that, whether to take the senator to the court or not to prove that. Yes, and even as at that, they will have to have all the relevant evidence which is actually indicating that he is connected with that. I'm not speaking on behalf of the senator, but what I'm saying is let us not actually be politicizing issue that should not be politicized. And why should the governor be so much curious, be so much interested in the whole thing like that? And to an extent that after writing or after knowing fully that matter is being handled by the DSS. At the same time, also writing petition against the president, against the senator and the presidency. And at the same time, also sponsoring some also other campaign against the senator. These are all things that are actually misleading, and we shouldn't get involved in all these kind of things. Governors should really be focusing their own attention on what to deliver as governors, as dividends of democracy to the people, not wasting their own time on these kind of things. That they should allow people to do. There is already established authority, there is already established agencies of government which is responsible, study with responsibility of investigating this kind of things, and it's already before them. They are already investigating the matter. So let us wait for the whole report. If at the end of the day the report indicates that yes, the senator is linked with that, or is actually connected with what he's been alleged or what he's been accused of, then fine. Then the governor cannot go ahead and insist that he must be prosecuted. But in a situation where the investigation is still going, then why should the governor be so much keen in also sponsoring other campaign against the refutation of the senator? For God's sake, why should they do that? Nobody, no person, no agency of government has the responsibility of pronouncing somebody as guilty of an offense he is accused of, except only a competent court of law. So why should the governor be the one to complain? Why should also lead the investigation? Why should he be also the one to also produce the judge or to also produce the report, whether the senator is involved or not? And again, don't forget about that. One thing that you should really understand, I'm not, like I said in the first place, I'm not a politician. We only monitor development, and also we speak about the whole thing, and we make analysis of the development. We are looking at this as just only development that does not really, or why should the governor be giving so much attention to something that it doesn't really deserve that? Because there's already an agency of government that is doing that, or performing its own responsibility, or performing its own work, constitutionally provided for. So we should allow that to continue. But why should the governor be so much interested in also taking the matter off at the same time, like I say, sponsoring other things like that, which are also targeted at tarnishing the image of the senator? A senator is not an ordinary person in the country. We have only 109 of them. We consider them distinguished, except only when they do something which is actually not good, and we all the time have responsibility to respect them, because we elected them, and we expect them to lead by providing enabling laws that can actually help in providing good leadership, good governance for the country. So why should, in the first place, look at the first person which haunting, that you are talking about somebody who is indicted with this kind of things, or who are accused of doing this. At the same time now, after the Bauchi Emirate Council decided to confer a traditional title on him, he now talked to the Bauchi Emirate Council, straightened them that they should withdraw. They came up boldly and withdraw that title they have already given to him there. Why all this kind of witch hunting in the first place, if at all that you are doing your things professionally there? We expect that as governors, they should not really be assuming authority of being political umpires. They should consider themselves as Democrat. Because look at what happened. It's the same thing like in River State, where there are a lot of impunity going on, very obvious one, with actually some hands involved in the whole thing, trying to undermine the authority of certain things. The same thing also like what is going on also in voting. The governor is assuming an authority, or assuming a position of doing everything for himself, and also making sure that he nailed down somebody that he considered as a perceived political opponent. Why should we be doing that? Why should we be wasting our time? This is somebody who serves as a senator. This is somebody who serves
overwhelming interest on this one. And I was just pointing out, Ambassador, if you could just let me chime in for a minute. You keep talking about the governor's overbearing interest. I get a sense that that's what you're saying, that he's overly committed himself into this particular case. But like I did say,
yes,
we consider governors as chief security officers of the state, and it is his mandate, his prerogative, to ensure the safety and security of Bauchi State. It is part of his constitutional responsibility. And of course, we know that Bauchi has had a history with terrorist activities. Case in point, the various attacks in the early days of the Boko Haram insurgency. And we do know a significant part of northern Nigeria is still reeling from the effects and the impact of banditry. So when a senator is linked to a suspected bandit, it surely is a very serious thing to consider. And also, we have seen so many cases where political figures have been linked directly or indirectly to some of these security-related instances. Just your final thoughts before we wrap things up about what comes next. Obviously, the DSS is looking into the matter. The particular fellow at the heart of the conversation is in custody. But with regards to the political aspect of it, because Senator Buba is on the platform of the APC and Senator Bala, the governor of Bauchi State, is on the platform of the PDP. You're also alluding to that tussle with the Emirate Council about a traditional title that was being bestowed upon the senator. Do you see the political side of it affecting DSS's investigation?
This is exactly what I'm saying. This is not the first thing that is happening in this country. There are similar scenarios like that are happening in places like Katsina, like Zamfara, where some people were alleged to have been involved in scandals like this or of this nature, where they were accused of having connection with the bandit. But what they normally did, what we really know and we witnessed, Zamfara State, Katsina State, they all established committee of investigation. And I could remember the one in Zamfara State. It was even led, I think, by former IG, Inspector General of Police, where they investigated the matter and they came up with the whole report and they submitted the whole report and recommendation to the governor that these were the people involved and these were people that are not actually involved. They were only accused to be involved. That is it. So you now work on the report. If Governor Bala Muhammad is actually doing that sensibly and is doing it in the interest of the state, he should allow the DSS to finish the one investigation without intimidating them, without in any way influencing anything, without the overbearing interest that he has really clearly shown that he is very much interested. And clearly we can understand that it's all about political witch hunting. I'm not speaking on behalf of Buba, like I said. I'm not his spokesperson. I do not even know him. But what I'm saying is that these are all tendencies and actions of the governors that have actually tendencies of sabotaging and undermining the security architecture in the country and the security operation in the country. Because if the governor will not allow the right security agencies or responsible security agencies to conduct their own professional work by interfering in the whole thing, influencing them one way or the other, just only expecting them to arrive at a particular conclusion, is quite really unfortunate and very much unpatriotic. These are not things that we really actually expect from somebody like Bala Muhammad. So he should really actually try to appreciate his own boundary and allow things to go freely and let things work the way how they should be. If at the end of the day DSS were able to come up with the order for them, the whole world will know about it, whether he's connected with them or he's not connected. And the report will indicate what he should or will recommend probably what action should be taken against him. But in a situation where you are sponsoring certain campaign of calumny against this particular person, at the same time also instigating certain things against his own personality, his own reputation, they are all uncalled for. I think this is the time for our leaders, especially the elected political leaders, to understand that governance is all about collectivity. It's all about coming together to provide the...
End the conversation here. Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to have to end the conversation here for want of time. Ambassador Ibrahim, Wayya, apologies for inability to allow you to complete your line of thought there, but we've been speaking to him on the current state of affairs in Bauchi State regarding the investigations into a senator from Bauchi State, Senator Buba, who is being investigated, or at least a part of the investigation, with connection to a suspected bandit who, according to the reports that we're getting, was sponsored by the senator to attend a pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. And of course, the governor of the state has also invested considerable time, especially looking at the report he had sent, calling for an adequate investigation into the matter. Well, we'll keep tabs on that development to bring you up to date with the very latest. And that is our show for you tonight. Thank you most kindly for joining us on Daily Politics. We'll be back tomorrow, live and exclusive as always on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Until next time, good evening.